So before beginning, if you like this kind of content, what should they do?
Hit that bell for notifications, subscribe, check out my comic book. It's the Kids of the US Power. It's so awesome. Go to our shop.
Go to our shop too? Oh yeah, I forgot to bring that up. You can get our prints. What do you think about those?
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's so cool. More on that at the end of the video. So do you ever see anything that is so farcical that you think, wow, is that actually real? Well, last night on Ricada Law's show, I saw just that. I saw the deposition of Ron TOYE, and I thought, wow, how far we've gone down that rabbit hole. When you're looking for the current year clap, when you're thinking of catching something, yeah, how far we've gone. Hey there. So today we are returning to that wonderful world of litigation. And my, what a wonderful world it is. You know, I can say right now that I'm definitely entertained, maybe for the wrong reasons, but I'm entertained nonetheless. I didn't think that that would start out like that either. I mean, when we were talking about a few months back, looking at January, I thought I was going to see a man's life and livelihood burned down and him have no recourse. He's just going to have to take that, and that's wrong. But we saw litigation. We saw these people say again and again that they wouldn't be put on trial, and lo and behold, they were. Now today what I want to do is I want to play 2 clips from that thing. And not only that, but I want to talk about other things that were in it as well. Now, of course, I'm going to refer you to 2 things, too. I'm going to refer you, number 1, to Ricada Law's channel. He actually had Anime Outsiders and the deposition of a truly unlikable person. That's what it was called. It's definitely worth watching. I mean, if you want to catch that thing in its entirety, oh yeah. Now, also, I'm going to be taking this stuff apart in live stream. So, if you want to watch it with me, you need to watch that too. I mean, it's good stuff. But anyway, the first clip that I want to show you talks about what exactly assault is. And it's really interesting when you listen to this guy talk about it. This tells you how exactly somebody gets taken down in current year because, well, assault can be anything that rubs up against your delicate fifis.
Read the first line.
Ron.
No, I'm sorry. Read the first line of text after the header.
Okay.
The third line on the tweet.
Perfect. They are not false. 4 people very close to me have been assaulted by him.
Any idea who him is?
Yes, Victor Mignogna.
Okay. Is your memory beginning to clear? Do you remember now making this tweet?
Don't remember making the tweet, but I know exactly who I was speaking about right there.
Okay.
How do you know that if you don't remember making it?
Well, how do you define the word assaulted?
Sure.
Sure.
Any action, verbally, physically, emotionally, that asserts themselves in a way that offends or hurts another person.
Okay. Anything, and again, I'm trying to understand the contours of what you're saying. Are you saying that anything that offends someone is an assault?
If the person felt it was an assault, yes.
Now that explains a lot, doesn't it? I mean, when you're talking about the people that are associated with this, the same people that came out and told you that harassment is governed by state laws, but is generally defined as a course of conduct which annoys, threatens, intimidate, alarms, or puts a person in fear of their safety. So if you annoy somebody, then you're harassing them, then yeah, you can see how they would define assault. As well, anything that generally bothers them. You see these people running in groups too, and what they did for the longest time is they threatened people. They threatened to coerce them with litigation. They threatened to take what they said and bring action against them because what they were doing wasn't wrong, but what you were doing out there, questioning that in and of itself was wrong. That's why I think we end up with a lot of what we see too. I mean, when we look at a lot of this insanity out there, we look at the last few months, and then we look at some of these allegations too. Yeah, you can see how, well, some of these people You can see how they get to this point. Not only that, but you can imagine what could have led to this point. Maybe not just what we're hearing, but imagine the other things that were quote-unquote assault as well. You know, not getting the praise that you merit. Having somebody out there that maybe is a little bit too diva-like. I mean, imagine what might set these folks off. Now, the second clip that I want to look at, I think is equally telling, because in this, you have a little bit of a slip-up. Now, as we lead toward this, we had quite a bit of time that was spent asking Ron what he thought about being accused of being a P to the E to the D to the O. What he would think if somebody went out and they defamed him as such, and if he got fired for that. Now that part was telling by itself because Ron spent a lot of time deflecting. He said he would be upset by those allegations, but if a job came together, you know, because a few people had said that and decided to investigate you, well, that wouldn't matter. That wouldn't matter at all because they had done their due diligence. Not only that, but he said that if a bunch of people got together online and they were doing this stuff anonymously, they were contacting places anonymously, well, that would be okay too because, hey, you can do that. Not only that, but if a person could not have a life wherein their livelihood status changed, where they could no longer be employed there, yeah, that was okay too. If places were afraid to hire you, afraid, notice that word, that would be okay. So then look at what he has to say here.
Let's say that you say, I think Donald Trump's wonderful, and I say I disagree. Is that harassment?
Objection form.
If that's the only thing you say to me?
Yep.
No.
I say I really disagree. Is that harassment?
Objection form.
No.
I say, you know, only an idiot would vote for Donald Trump. Is that harassment?
Objection form.
And it's just you?
For now it's just
Oh.
between us.
No.
Okay. Same set of facts, except we're doing it publicly on Twitter and thousands of people are reading the tweets. Is that harassment?
Objection form.
Could be.
Why?
Objection form.
Depends on what the people are saying underneath it.
Oh, I see. So, if I'm hearing you correctly, when I say only an idiot votes for Trump, it's harassment if somebody else then does what?
Hold on. Objection form.
Now, you notice in that clip that he had to have his hiney pulled out of that proverbial fire because, yeah, you know to us what he was going to say. He was going to say that putting together a veritable lynch mob online, that's not a good thing. If you go out and you look, too, at how that thing was put together, how many people were actually liking some of these posts, it says plenty. And then when you start reading these posts, yeah, they tell you a lot, too. They tell you a lot as well when people admit to going out and wanting this stuff to gain that type of notoriety. They say, I had to come forward on Twitter because if I didn't, there was a very good chance that this would be swept under the rug again. So they went to Twitter for a specific thing. Now, another thing that was very telling in all of this, you know, we have Ron saying, hey, I would have ignored all of this. Unlike a Mignogna, he didn't use that wording, but he was saying he would have ignored allegations of things like being a P to the E to the D to the O. However, he couldn't ignore things like we will be in touch. 5 words. He's gone out and reported Ricada because he said mean words on the internet. So, you know, when you look at the reality versus the reality, yeah, I mean, it says a lot. It says a lot indeed. There's a lot of stuff in that too. Like I said, go and check out Ricada Law's live stream for it. I'll also be cutting out the portions and putting it together so we can talk about it too. We'll be doing that in live stream. So yeah, you can get a real good feel of it. But I wanted to put these two things together. That, of course, like I say, it doesn't even come close to really touching on everything. I mean, we talk about investigation versus not having an investigation, what due process means, how exactly Ron and Monica got together, some of the accusers out there, who they are, and how they live with Ron, or they have lived with Ron. That's right. When you look at the people that are all put together there, we know two people, the fans, they actually lived with these folks. Of course, Monica and Ron, they lived together. And one of those witnesses out there of the two, they're really good friends there. So when you start looking at all of those pieces, you start getting a really, really good feeling. You also get that really good feeling for who these folks are, for how spicy they get, how angry they get. And man, this guy gets angry. He gets angry. He denies knowing anything about 367 tweets. It's interesting stuff. And it's very, very telling. So like I said, check that out and let me know what you think about this stuff. So as I said at the beginning of the video, check out the links in the description if you'd like to help the channel out. Now, you're under no obligation to do so, but man, we got some cool stuff, including the case of the Littlest Umbrella. All ages Lovecraftian, meaning for everybody, horror elements that you can share there. Plus, we have another piece, a satirical approach to all things that came up in comics, but mainly we have one message. We won't be gate-kept out. You see exactly what kind of people gatekeep too. I mean, we just looked at one and wow, that stuff was telling. We also put together a little Etsy shop for this stuff as well. If you want to check that out, you should before everything goes the way of the dinosaur, because this stuff, it won't be around forever. Now, let me know what you thought about that video and the deposition too. I want to know exactly what you thought about it because wow, it's definitely telling. Also, let me know what you thought about this madness so far and well, where you think it's going to end up. Also, I want to end by saying I thank you. I appreciate you. You make endeavors possible. Voice actors out there, they have some of the most reprehensible people on folks because they have opinions. They're driving people away from that market, and that's their prerogative. If companies want to do that and point their ugly little digits, then that's okay. If you need to walk away from something, well, we should give you something to walk towards. So if you're walking towards this, well, like I said, I appreciate you doing so. You know, I appreciate you showing up, giving your opinions. Again, leave your comments, and Andy, thank you.